Okay. So you remember when I was telling you that you were beginning to start to think about how to write proofs? This is a little bit closer to that step. So let's think about an example. Alana wants to buy a sweater that costs $38. So she has a sweater that she wants to cost $38. And she also has a sunglasses that cost $14. And she wants to buy a pair of jeans that cost her $22 and a t-shirt that cost her $16. And so she wants to find out how much all of those things cost together and using mental math. And of course, the easiest way to do is to think about these things in adding them together that would create powers or multiples of 10. So if you added 38 plus 22 and then added 14 to 16, okay? Ever wonder why it's okay to do that? Because you just move them around. But if you added them in the order of 38 plus 14 plus 22 plus 16, that's the same thing as 38 plus 22 plus 14 plus 16. And that's true because we just discovered, or we just gave it a name, that is the commutative property. Let me spell that right. Commutative. No, I didn't spell it right. Nope. There you go, commutative property. So we just gave it a name. We've sort of always known that it's true that we can move stuff around like that, but now we finally have a name for it. Okay, so if we add 38 and 22 together, 38 plus 22, and then we add 14 to 16, well, now we've grouped them even more. We've kind of put parentheses around it and said, well, we're going to add 38 and 22 first, and then we're going to add 14 and 16, and we group them. Well, we know that is now called the associative property. And we know that that is something that we can do because it's true for all numbers under addition. So 38 plus 22 is 60, and then 14 plus 16 is 30. That's just simple simplifying or addition. And we end up with 90. So we've always sort of assumed this kind of thing is true. Now we can actually say, well, it's true because the commutative property and for the associative property. And that is the beginnings of how to write a proof. So that we can add right there. All right, so 2 lessons ago, we actually took, we simplified expressions. We said 7 plus g plus 5. And we simplified it. We took the 7, we added it to the 5, and we ended up with 12 plus g. We said, okay, that's how you simplify that expression. Well, now this time we're going to simplify it. We're going to think about all the properties that we just learned, and we're going to identify the steps as we move those numbers around. So let us say within there, g plus 7 plus 5. So we just swapped 2 numbers around, and we know that that is true because of the commutative property under addition. I'm not going to spell that right today, am I? Under addition. All right, so now let's take g, and we're going to add it to 7 plus 5. We're going to put those in parentheses. Well, we know that that is true because the associative property. Property under addition. So we did that. Now we're going to say g plus 7 plus 5, which is 12, and that is just simple addition or simplifying. Nope, again, I'm not going to be able to spell. And that's just simplifying. So we've been able to kind of do that in our head, but now that we know what these properties are, we can go through the steps and we can identify. And this is the very, very beginnings of thinking about math in proofs, which again, someday in geometry when this is introduced, you're going to go, oh yeah, Mrs. Whitney told me about that.